Welcome to B News Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with B News Director Rich Hosford, B News reporters Tad Stefanak and Robert Paris, Peter Brown with the weather, Gretchen Carey with the community calendar, and Anthony Matos with sports. Thank you for joining us. Burlington Chief Thomas Brown reports that the Burlington Police Department identified an individual who made a potentially threatening Facebook post that was directed at a school department employee and determined the post was not meant to convey a threat. On Saturday, Burlington Police became aware of a post that was directed at a school department employee and which contained potentially threatening language. Police launched an immediate investigation and were able to determine the post was made from a newly created Facebook account that included a fake name. Police were additionally able to identify the individual who created the account and made the post as a former school department employee. Burlington Police spoke with the individual in question and conducted a threat assessment that determined there is no immediate threat. The individual who made the post intended to make a political comment, but had no ill will nor intent to threaten anyone. Because no criminal charges will be filed, Burlington Police are not identifying the individual behind the post. Police did not identify the school employee that was the subject of the online comments, but it was revealed during Tuesday night school committee meeting that it was directed at BPS Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Ray Porch. Superintendent Eric Conti began the meeting by addressing the incident and had his strong feelings about it. Here he is on the subject.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Before public participation, I just wanted to acknowledge that an employee, a member of my district leadership team, had to deal with language that made us question his safety. I want to state that we will not tolerate this treatment of anybody. I thank the committee for your collective and immediate response and the immediate support extended by the Burlington Police Department, Chief Brown and Deputy Chief Kirchner. I want to apologize to Mr. Porch. As a community leader, we can do better and we will do better. I'm sorry, Ray. I stand with you. I appreciate your significant contributions to improve the district in your short time here. You've done a lot. Finally, I've learned that this incident is like a pebble in a still pond. There are ripples that have triggered responses from other members of our community, including students. In addition to addressing the immediate concern, we need to offer our support to those who may have also been impacted by this event or had this event trigger feelings from prior experiences. We will be providing this support. So again, Ray, I apologize that not a good reflection of the organization, and we will do better.
The Burlington community and our BCAT family has lost a well-known and much beloved man. Donald J. Flaherty, a man dedicated to his family and the community he lived in, passed away at his home with his loving family by his side on Saturday morning, March 5th. The beloved husband of Sheila and proud father of BCAT production coordinator Chris Flaherty, he was 71 years old. There were very few in Burlington who didn't know Don, as he was involved in many aspects of the community and made an impact on so many. Don was the first face you saw when you went to the polls to vote as the greeter and the parking coordinator. As part of the July 4th Parade Committee, he was the man you would see driving up and down the parade route in the official golf cart, making sure it ran smoothly. He was a campaign manager in town elections and could always be found holding signs for candidates and worked hard for his candidate and friends. When you needed something done, Don was the go-to man. Don will be remembered for his gift of gab, always having a smile on his face and always ready to help, which is why there are very few people in the town of Burlington that did not know Donald Flaherty. List of ways he worked to support the community, friends, and family is too long to cover here. You can find his full obituary on our website at bcattv.org/bnews. He will be missed. The Burlington Planning Board has engaged in multiple long discussions about a proposed condo project on Cambridge Street during the last few meetings. Developer Neuer Ventures has put forward initial plans to build a 98-unit condo project with the possibility of a retail component at 135 Cambridge Street, the location of the former Rogers Piano, and also 3 residential homes closer to Bedford Street two of which are currently abandoned. The project would require a vote by town meeting to allow for a project of this kind on the site. It sits in the town overlay, and in order for it to go forward, they would need a rezoning change to allow for the creation of a town center multifamily subdistrict. Peter Carbone of Navoya Ventures highlighted what he says are the benefits of the project, including that it would generate an expected gross annual real estate tax of approximately $630,000 to the town. He also said a mixed-use project would be a good transition from the business part of the overlay into the town center and the more residential neighborhoods. There were concerns raised by members of the planning board and other committees, as well as members of town meeting and the public. The biggest concern centered around an increase in traffic in an area that already sees a busy street condition. There were also concerns that even if the project would bring in new tax revenue, if there are families with children that move into town, those gains could be lost through the expense of education. Finally, some thought the number of proposed units was too high for that location. The discussion was continued to the meeting of March 17th. Excuse me. Camp, a business that offers both merchandise and experiences based on specific themes, is now open in the newly renovated corridor of the Burlington Mall. B-News Director Rich Hosford went to take a tour and has this look.
There's a new and unique business in the Burlington Mall in the recently renovated corridor where Sears used to be that offers both shopping and a fun experience for kids. Camp, a business that offers both experiences and merchandise, opened its doors recently, and we went to check it out to see what it's all about.
Camp is unique because we exist to answer the question, what should we do today? So we provide an environment for families to come in, they can do some shopping, but most importantly, they get to play.
At camp, they take play seriously, with multiple activities in a large play area built around a certain theme, and the themes change throughout the year, giving customers new experiences.
When you first walk into our store, it's going to look like a regular retail store, but we have a magic door that takes us back into this completely interactive experience. So what's happening here for our Paw Patrol theme is our guests are going on a VIP tour through Adventure Bay, and eventually they actually have to step in and help save the day since the Paw Patrol is out of town. But one of the amazing things about this location is that this whole theme around us is going to change up. So we're going to have Paw Patrol through spring, but come summer, we'll be launching a brand new theme for our families to come back and play in.
The themes have a wide variety of activities for the kids.
Yep, so when they come in, they're going to go through several different missions, everything from trying to put out fires with Marshall to driving around a little racetrack. We have some RC moments, we have some building blocks, and of course we have our obstacle course and the zip line at the end that the kids absolutely love. So we just try to find different ways to allow the kids to express themselves and appeal to everyone's level of play.
To help everyone enjoy the experience, the staff is very enthusiastic and active as they bring the kids to the different parts of the play area.
I really think that the staff here is like the bread and butter of the experience. It really what brings the magic to life here. And so our staff, they are comfortable working with kids. They love creating an immersive environment. And really the people keep coming back to work with our team, and they love coming back to see their favorite counselors.
Finally, camp opened earlier this year and has been busy ever since. They say locating in the Burlington Mall and in town has been a great experience.
Incredible. Burlington has welcomed us in with open arms. We've had some great feedback. There's a lot of excitement about us being here, and so are we. So we're excited to keep on going and keep spreading the word of camp.
From camp in the Primark section of the mall, I'm B-News Director Rich Hosford.
The Burlington community and business community have come together in an impressive way to support a Ukrainian artist whose work is featured in the town sculpture park. The Burlington Sculpture Park Committee is pleased to announce that the Burlington community has rallied together to raise $14,000 to purchase the sculpture Global Warming, also known as the Cherries, from the Ukrainian artist Nikita Zagura, the committee said in a statement. The proposal to raise the funds to send to Zagura came about earlier this week, and the goal was met in just 3 days. According to the committee, Zagura, until recently, was in Kyiv, Ukraine. Last week, the Sculpture Park Committee was able to make contact with the artist and learned that he and his brother Igor have escaped over the border into Poland, leaving everything behind, including their home, studio, and all their work. The Sculpture Park Committee swung into action and appealed to the Burlington community to help raise the funds needed to purchase the sculpture. Global Warming is made of acrylic and stainless steel and stands 90 inches in height. In the latest Chamber Spotlight, we look at a landmark location in town, Burlington's own Cafe Escadrille. Let's have a look.
Hi everybody, Sonia Rollins here for the foodie segment of Back Talk. I am honored to be in what everybody considers to be a staple of Burlington, the Cafe Escadrille. We're going to be able to talk to Mike Murray of the Cafe Escadrille as well as see some of the great things that they have to prepare for us today. It is really one of the things that those of us who've lived in Burlington for a long time know, a staple of the community. Join me. All right, everybody, we're here with Mike Murray of the Cafe Escadrille. Mike, thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming.
We're really happy to be inside the Cafe Escadrille. I was saying it's really like a staple of Burlington. I understand you're celebrating your 50th anniversary next year.
Next year, 50 years.
It's amazing that it's been here because there's been such an evolution of the restaurant. I really feel like, obviously, it was just the restaurant at one point, and now we're sitting in your event section of the restaurant. So it's really evolved over the years.
Yeah, it really has. So the original restaurant was opened in 1973, so that'll be 50 years. But the function facility that we're in right now opened in 2003, so that'll be 20 years.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the events first, and we'll get to the restaurant because that really is the highlight of it. But the event section is quite remarkable because the Cafe Escadrille offers something that I don't think there's much of in Burlington. I mean, how many people can you hold in the ballroom?
In the ballroom, we can do up to 300 people.
300 people. When you think about the Escadrille and you think about restaurant space, there's really not many places where you can get 300 people in the room in Burlington.
Right. We can get the people over on this side of the building, have a special event, and still do our regular business, where other places might have to shut down part of their dining room to do an event or something along those lines. It's not fully private. We can keep people private and separated, and we have a separate line in our kitchen that's dedicated to putting the food out for this side, and then another one for the restaurant.
Separate parking.
Separate parking, right.
And yes, 300 people, but you service a whole lot of other things.
Yeah, we do events from 12 people, private events from 12 people to 300 plus people, depending on the event.
I mean, I want to thank you because you're always a huge supporter of the Chamber of Commerce. We've had our Black Tie Galas here. We've had the Taste here. I mean, there's been a lot of things that have happened within Burlington that have had different things. You've always been part of all of these events with us.
Yeah, no, we're happy to be able to contribute to that type of thing.
Yeah, and so let's talk about the restaurant because that really is the special spot. I mean, this side has its own feel because of the eventing, but the restaurant itself, there are some staple things in the restaurant that have been always going on. But there's also now sushi at the bar, which I'm not sure people really would connect the two if they don't come into the Escadrille.
Yeah, if they didn't know, they wouldn't know. You know, we're not, an Asian restaurant that would, you would typically think of for sushi, but we put it in, it was 2015, so, 7 years ago now, and our sushi chefs are great. I'd put them up against any other sushi chefs in the area. They do a great job putting it out, and everyone raves about it when they do find out that we have it and they come in, and it really has worked out well for us. It's just a different thing just to try to mix it up so that we have something for everyone, and that's like what our menu really is trying to have something for everyone.
Our seafood fettuccine is one of the items that we sell a lot in here, and that is Alfredo sauce with shrimp, lobster meat, and scallops, and a little bit of cherry wine with shallots, butter, a little bit of heavy cream.
You can come in with your family, your kids can get something that they'll enjoy, or you come in with your parents and get something that they haven't had in a long time. They might not be able to get at a lot of other places.
That's one of our specials for the day today. It's a pot roast. It's been cooked for like 6 hours, probably more. And we serve with the burgundy gravy, mashed potato, and green peas. The veal Catherine, it is veal cutlets, sauteed with butter, shallots, a little bit of cherry wine, heavy cream again, and finished with Madeira wine. And it has a full lobster tail, 2 16-20 shrimp, and artichoke hearts.
And the layout of the Escadrille, so it's classic restaurant. You walk in and you kind of feel like you're home because it's that spot that everybody's been used to at the Escadrille. But the thing that I really have always been impressed on is the size of the bar, the ability to be able to sit around it. Everybody can see each other. It's a very social climate. Yeah. I know you have a pretty extensive wine list.
Yeah, we have probably one of the biggest wine lists in Burlington, if not the greater Boston area. We have over 400 different wines, from selections by the glass to selections by the bottle, ranging from every type of wine you could possibly look for. We have an in-house sommelier, so anyone comes in with a question, they can make sure that they're going to get the wine that's right for them if they want to try something new or if they found something that they've enjoyed before.
And then for those of us who aren't wine drinkers but maybe on the Scotch side,
yeah, we have quite a whiskey list, so Scotch, bourbon, rye, Irish whiskeys, Tennessee whiskeys, all of that. We have too many to count.
Do you think that's gotten more popular?
It has, especially like the bourbons. I think it used to be like you thought about the whiskeys and like scotches and Tennessee whiskeys, but the bourbons and the ryes have really picked up recently over the last probably 10 years or so.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of different ones coming out now too, so you got to try to keep up with the trends.
Okay, so now I always ask this question of people. If you were ordering food at the Escadrille, what's your go-to?
I love all the food here, but if I had to go with my go-to, it would be the prime rib, because not a lot of other places do it because it's kind of hard to manage. You have to cook it in advance, and you have to decide how many orders you're going to make in advance. So some places just don't do it; they don't want to bother with it. But other places that do, it's just, I don't know. To me, it doesn't hold up.
The lamb lollipops, I would put that up against any restaurant. Boston, Burlington, it doesn't matter. Phenomenal, and that's not an easy thing to really make.
No.
Lamb is a tough one.
Right.
You have a signature Caesar salad.
Yes, that we've been making for probably almost 50 years, and it's been award-winning. We've won awards with that, and our clam chowder is award-winning too. So I'd say the best way to describe it is that there's something for everybody here, and that's really what it comes down to. Like if you were to come here and you weren't able to find a menu item that you thought you'd like, I would be very, very surprised.
I hope you enjoyed today's segment as much as I did. Everybody who knows the Cafe Escadrille knows it's been a staple in this community for now almost 50 years. As Mike said so perfectly a little earlier, there is something for everyone inside the walls of the Cafe Escadrille. For Back Talk, I'm Sonia Rollins.
The Shawshene Tech School Committee has selected a new superintendent after roughly 2 years since the last full-time administrator left the position. The committee voted 8-2 to start the hiring process for current Director of Career and Technical Education at Keefe Regional Technical School, Anthony McIntosh. Interim Superintendent Bradford Jackson was hired 2 years ago with a condition in his contract stipulating he would have a shorter tenure than most because he's looking to retire. According to his LinkedIn page, McIntosh holds a Master of Education degree in Educational Administration from the University of Mass Lowell and a Postmaster's Graduate Certificate in Career and Technical Education from the University of New England. He also holds a certificate in School Management and Leadership from the Harvard University Graduate School of Education. He has previously worked as the Construction Academy Supervisor at Greater Lawrence Technical School and Welding and Metal Fabrication Instructor at Franklin County Technical School. The Burlington Transportation Committee is looking at options of connecting workers who take public transportation into town to the various amenities the town has to offer. During the latest meeting, member Rick Parker gave a presentation on possible transportation routes through the commercial section of town. He said these could be necessary because as the town continues its effort to attract new life science companies rather than traditional office space and technology companies, the workforce culture will change. Parker said the majority of life science companies currently in the state that Burlington is looking to attract are located in Cambridge, meaning the employees of those companies have ample access to public transportation, bike routes, and areas of walkability close to where they work. Many of them, he said, don't own cars. Parker said this could be a benefit to Burlington because if previous day population workers who all drove in single vehicle and added to the traffic in town are replaced by workers who use public transportation, that would ease some of the stress placed on the town's roads. However, it also creates a problem. He pointed out that many of the new life science companies coming in are not within walking distance to many restaurants, retails, parks, or other amenities. Parker explained that if employees cannot get to the town amenities during a lunch break or after work without a car, they likely will not want to be located in Burlington. To fix the problem, the committee is looking into creating a shuttle loop that would have stops at most of the places where labs are located and amenities in town such as shopping centers, restaurant clusters, and hotels. To read the specifics of the proposal, find our full story at bcattv.org/bnews. For the latest from the busy Parks and Recreation Department, we go to B News reporter Robert Paris and Department Director Brendan Egan for the latest Parks and Rec update.
Burlington is ready to get out of this winter season and move on to much better weather as we sprint ahead. Burlington Parks and Recreation Director Brendan Egan joined me for another update and tells us what's in store for the spring brochure.
There's lots of good programs in the brochure. Of course, we have special events. The Easter Bunny's going to be making a visit to Burlington again, so we have a couple activities set up with the Easter Bunny while they're hanging around town. We have an egg excursion, which is where we hide eggs in the parks, and that's on social media. That starts on April 5th. On April the 14th, we have our Easter egg hunt. It's going to be back outdoors. We always have something new, right? So this year we have a bunny hop. So it's a virtual event. So for those people who may not be comfortable coming out to do in-person events yet.
Brendan is looking forward to being back to normal in the near future.
And a continued return to some more typical operations, people starting to feel more comfortable coming out and participating in groups and crowds.
I'm Robert Paris for B News Weekly.
We go now to B News weatherman Peter Brown for the latest forecast to see what we have in store for the week ahead. We'll also check out the community calendar with Gretchen Carey to see what's happening in Burlington.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown, focus your weather for the next 7 days. Here we are heading in towards the middle of March and heading on towards spring. Now, as we start out our period on Friday, we should be seeing pretty seasonable conditions out there, temperatures in the mid-40s with some fair weather clouds out there. And as we get towards the end of the period, getting in towards the next Thursday, we should see average highs at this time of the year close to 50, and that's probably we're going to be maybe a few degrees warmer than that. But of course, what you really notice is how long the days are getting. It's nice and bright when you're going out to work in the morning, and it's nice and bright still when you're coming home at night. So our length of days keep getting longer, and that is going to continue as we head on towards spring. Now, as we go ahead, let's take a look at the Climate Prediction Center is calling for us here in the Burlington area over the next 7 to 10 days in terms of temperatures and precipitation. Now, looking at our temperature map, looks like we're going to be seeing about average temperatures, maybe closer to some below average temperatures. We're going to have a couple of chilly days spotted throughout next week, so we'll have to keep an eye on that, but nothing crazy out there, but unfortunately nothing really, really warm either. And as we look at our precipitation chances, we're going to be seeing about average chances of precipitation, so no real big rainstorms and certainly no real big snowstorms, so that is some great news. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at those 7 days of weather coming up here in the Burlington area. And again, starting on Friday, seasonable day, pleasant out there, temperatures in the mid-40s with light winds and some fair weather clouds. So really nice if you have to be out and about in the Burlington area on Friday. Now, as we get into Saturday, this is when a messy storm system is going to be making its way across southern New England, bringing with it some moderate to heavy rain in the morning. And we're going to probably see our high for the day in the morning, probably around 50, 51 degrees. Now, we're going to have to keep an eye on this storm to see how strong it gets. It looks like it's really going to develop as it heads over the Gulf of Maine away from us. Now, depending on how fast the storm strengthens and how strong it does get, there is a chance that it could pull down some pretty cold air behind it and change us over to some brief snow at the end of the storm. So stay tuned to your local media outlets. We'll keep an eye on that. Doesn't look like it's going to be anything big right now, but again, just something to keep an eye on. It could get messy if you're out and about in the Burlington area on Saturday afternoon. Now, before you go to bed on Saturday evening, remember to turn your clocks ahead 1 hour as we head into daylight time now. So it is time to spring forward. So that means the morning's going to be a little bit darker out there for a little bit, but we are going to be seeing the sun going down at almost 7 o'clock at night. So a true sign of the season ahead, which is great. Now, as we get towards the rest of the week, getting in towards the work week, we're going to be seeing our temperatures again pretty chilly. We're going to be chilly on Sunday. Temperatures go way down into the 30s behind that strong storm, and then they rebound up near 50 again on Monday to start the work week. So some pretty nice conditions, and then it's going to stay like that really through the end of the period. The only caveat to this is on Wednesday, after a weak storm system passes us by, we may see some cooler weather coming with temperatures only in the low 40s. But thereafter, going into Thursday, it looks like we're going to be seeing some really nice conditions with temperatures getting up into the mid to upper 50s. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your Community Calendar. On March 17th from 7 to 8:30 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having an event called Adventures in Seed Starting. For more information and to register, go to burlingtonpubliclibrary.org. Through March 20th, Burlington High School students' artwork will be shown in the 26th Annual Regional High School Art Show at Lex Art. For more information, go to lexart.org. On March 19th at 11 a.m., the Made in Burlington store will be having an event for anyone who is looking to repurpose old jewelry. For more information, go to the Made in Burlington store website.
The winter sports season is in the final stretch, and Burlington teams have mostly wrapped up, with the exception of the Red Devils boys basketball. For the latest action, we go now to B News sports reporter Anthony Matos for this week's sports report.
Hey everyone, I'm Anthony Matos, and this is your weekly sports report. The postseason continues for the Red Devils, and we have a look on how they've been doing this past week. Boys basketball hosted Charlestown on March 4th in the first round of the MIAA Division II playoffs. It came down to the wire for the Devils as they were able to take the home victory 72-71.
Mahoney's got it. 7 seconds. Mahoney inside. Rodriguez rejected. That should be a goaltend. That should be a goaltend. Was it a goaltend? It was. It was a goaltend. DeJesus with 2. DeJesus. No. Burlington gets it done.
The team played Longmeadow in the second round, and we have some highlights.
The Red Devils continued their journey in the MIAA playoffs as they took on Longmeadow Lancers in the second round. In the first period, the Devils came out firing as they scored 22 points. Longmeadow had 10, 22-10 after 1. Second period, Burlington put up another 14 points, and their opponent had 18. (36-28) at the half, Burlington. Both teams picked it up in the third as the Devils scored in the teen numbers again with 19. The Lancers added 15, 55-43 after the third. Eric Sakai was the only player to score in the fourth as the Devils added 6 points. Longmeadow had another 15. The Lancers had 3 seconds left on the clock to tie it, but in the end, Burlington got the job done to advance to the quarterfinals.
Longmeadow just trying to find somebody open. Finds number 24. Number 24's got it. Back to number 3. Number 3 loses the ball. Can't put it up, and that's it.
61-58, Red Devils.
On March 11th, they will host Holyoke High School in the quarterfinals of the tournament. You can catch the action live on our BCAT TV Facebook page at 6:30 p.m. Girls ice hockey went to Gallo Arena on Saturday, March 5th at 3 p.m. to face the Sandwich Blue Knights in the MIAA playoffs, where they suffered a heartbreaking loss of 2-5. Seniors Sophia Botazic, Ava O'Rourke, and Lelia Fowler will be departing from the team. The girls' indoor track season wrapped up on March 5th at the New England Championships. Jolene Russo, Grace Handifin, Liz Breeby, and Char Collins attended the event. These athletes are part of the 4x200, which has set a record-breaking time of 1 minute 47 seconds and 18 milliseconds earlier this season. Burlington was once again on fire as they set a new record of 1:46:59 in the 4x200. Congrats to the Lady Devils on all their successes they have made throughout this winter season. Seniors Brooke Bibbo, Madison Bowden, Liz Breeby, Caitlin Carney, Kira Coughlin, Paige Devereaux, Brooke Hovace, Jessica Joseph, Cara Martin, Alexis Regloni, and Jolene Russo will graduate this coming June. On March 5th, the girls' gymnastics team competed at Algonquin Regional High School in the state tournament of the MIAA playoff tournament. Burlington finished in 5th place at the states. Congrats on a great season, ladies. Seniors Gabby Gillis and Sam Moira are departing this June. The Red Devil wrestling season came to a close over the weekend at the 2022 New England Interscholastic Wrestling Championship in Providence, Rhode Island. Seniors Rona Noak and Tim Vadney represented Burlington High School at the championship. Noak competed in the 195 weight class, and Vadney competed in the 220 weight class. Noak won 4 out of his 6 matches, and Vadney won 3 out of his 6 matches. Noak finished in 4th, and Vadney finished in 6th. On a lighter note, Vadney earned his 100th career win in his match against Foldy Pratt. Congrats and good luck to Ronan and Tim on your future endeavors. In addition, Vadnais and Noak have been named Middlesex League All-Stars. Vadnais was named All-Conference in the 220 weight class, and both athletes were named Freedom League All-Stars. Vadnais, Noak, and Nick Silva are graduating. To check out what lies ahead for the spring sports, go to arbiterlive.com where you will find the Burlington Red Devil schedules. For more Red Devil action, go to the B News Sports section at bcattv.org/sports and check out our Twitter page at B News Sports. That's all for the Sports Report. I'm Anthony Matos. Back to you guys in the studio.
Another week, another photo to highlight. This week, photo evokes a wintry mood. It was sent in by 13-year-old Burlington resident Liam Collins and features some wintry mix of weather seen over a dock at Lake Winnipesaukee in Guilford, New Hampshire. This photo doesn't make it look like the most pleasant day for a trip to the beach, but it is a great shot. Thank you for the photo, Liam. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of your winter activities, hopefully spring activities soon, a family trip or everyday moments, whatever you think is interesting and want to share. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. Finally, this week, don't forget to stick around after the news for this week's Burlington Public Schools Weekly Update with Assistant Superintendent Patrick Larkin for all the latest education news. And that's it from the news desk here at B News Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with Rich Hosford, Tad Stefanak, Robert Paris, Peter Brown, Gretchen Carey, and Anthony Matos. Thank you for joining us.